Sheldon, anything extra you have to do to motivate these guys when things are going this well?
I think our guys know that we've got a lot of areas we can continue to get better. So, we're talking about the things that we're doing well that are giving us opportunities to have success, but we're still pointing out the things where we can get better. Every team can always improve, and we are certainly no different.
Can you give us an update on Andre's status?
Yeah, he's blocked a shot late in the game there last night, and just needed the day today. We're going to see how he is tomorrow. He went and had a picture of it this morning, but it came back clear, so that's good news. We'll just have to see how he is in the morning.
If you had to, besides Jack, your record is 7-0 when leading after 2 periods. What other elements have gone into protecting those leads in the third period?
I mean, I think when we look at games like last night, games like Philadelphia, that's really the model of what we want to have in terms of controlling play, reducing chances against, and then being patient, waiting for opportunities to go on offense to extend the lead. That's really the model of what we want. We've had games we've done that extremely well, and I think we've had other games we've had to rely on Jack probably too much. But certainly is a good trend for us, something that was important for us coming into the season. When you look at the truly elite teams in the league, that's an area that they are very good in, and where they really separate themselves from the crowd is when they get a lead, the game's over, and they take care of it. So that's an important thing, and it's a good trait of our team here early on, but it's a long season.
When we see John Tavares, he usually is a pretty stoic guy, seems unflappable, but you don't get to where he's at without the fire within him. In what ways have you seen that competitive fire with John?
I think I've said it from the start of camp that he's come in, even more focused and driven this season. I know even though he didn't play in our series, save for a couple of shifts against Montreal, that he's come in as fired up as anyone and motivated to improve our group and be better. You saw it from the initiative he took this summer to have guys out in the off season having well over half our team spend a weekend with him, and training and bonding and skating and all those things. Like, you could tell that he was even more focused and had extra urgency to his preparations. So it's not a surprise that he's gotten off to the start that he's gotten to here, even though, like our team, it took a little bit of time, but he's in a real nice groove for us, producing greatly on offense, but also doing so well, being good on defense too.
Do you sense that his focus is tied for last season?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I certainly would hope so. And I know from my conversations with John and all of our players, they're pissed off coming in, to training camp, and that was fresh, and that was the mindset we wanted to have. I thought, our training camp and our preseason was very good and reflected that. When the game started for real, it's taken some time here, really, to kind of get ourselves, to a level where we can have success consistently. I reflect on that Carolina game. I think at that time I felt something in our team, both in the experience of having to play against a team like Carolina and how they play, but also how we played also inside of that game. Despite not getting the results, there was a lot of really positive indicators that showed that we were starting to come together as a group. We needed some things to start to fall our way, and they did in Chicago, and we've kind of not really looked back, save for maybe that LA game since then. So it's all part of it, and I really do think a lot of that began in the off season.
With John, he's obviously determined to evolve and stay consistent even as he gets older, and part of that is getting outside his comfort zone. I know the guys were getting a chuckle out of the fact he did the Lululemon photo shoot, which is, as he admitted, not his forte. Are there hockey examples you have noticed of John being unafraid of getting out of his comfort zone and maybe helping the group as a whole?
I think that one example I've already given here with him in the middle of an off season taking the initiative to having the guys out. I mean, even though he's a great captain and leader, that's something that he's never done, and a lot of players, and rightfully so, look at the off season as their personal time. And John's got a young family here now, and despite all that, he put that aside to prioritize getting the group together, and that's not just the players that were returning, but the new players to our team, and using it as an opportunity in an informal setting that has nothing to do with our team or our management or coaches or anything. That he just took the initiative to get a leg up on bringing the group together. Little things like that, to me, is showing just the growth of us as a team and as an organization, and John within his role here as captain.
You mentioned the team was pissed off going into the season. How do you, I'm not sure how to ask this, but how do you kind of keep that in the forefront over an 82-game season to kind of prevent from any sort of lapses, maybe similar to what happened at the beginning of the year?
I don't think I need to. Our players know what we've been through, and they know where we're at, and they know where we want to go. They don't need reminders. They've been through a lot as a group. So the season itself has ups and downs and all those things, and there's enough reminders in there that you got to continue to improve. But I know in the back of everyone's mind, we know what we've been through. We know where we're trying to get to, and just how difficult it is. So I don't need to be throwing it in their faces or anything like that. They know what's at stake here, and they know what we've been through.
What challenges New York present to you guys, given last game they won a tight game and Shesterkin made 40 saves and stuff?
Very good team, obviously right at the top of the league. High-end skill at both forward and defense, and then, as you say, a goaltender that's been second to nobody in the league here this season. We saw it firsthand in the first time playing against them. So we gotta really bear down around the net and make life as hard as we can on him. But at the same time, you got to be really dialed in defensively. They've got a lot of guys that can counter and make plays and make it hard on you defensively yourself. So yeah, it's just like last night. It's a good team that's rolling and has had a lot of success, but it's a different type of team and different challenges in terms of defending against them. But certainly the goaltending challenge is similar.
Richie, missing the shifts in the second, is that a direct result of the penalty there, or what was the thought process?
Yeah, just the penalty. I actually thought Nick was playing well, competing well. You see, he gets in a fight, and there's a good spirited fight and all that, but the fight came to him because of how he was competing and playing. He gets a really good clean contact on one of their top defensemen, which creates a turnover and launches Mitch and Austin on a 2-on-1, and the fight comes to him. I actually thought there should have been an instigator in that case because the fight came after him, but regardless, that's because he was competing and playing like that. That's what happened. He's engaged in the game and he's making an impact. But Rich and I talked before the season even began about penalties and finding that balance. And I recognize it is difficult for him to play as hard and as competitive as we need him to be. And getting in a fight like that, I don't have a lot of experience with that, but you can appreciate how it gets you fired up. It takes a while to come down from that, but that's the challenge, right? Is to stay disciplined on it. So he missed a few shifts, so I got him right back in the mix because I did think he was doing well, and there's a lot of game left at that time. But those types of penalties we can't tolerate.
And in that way, it's not just a message to him, but the whole team.
Precisely, it's more about the team, frankly, than it is about Nick in that case, because I do sympathize with the type of game that he has to play to be engaged, and at times you cross that line a little bit, and that's part of what you get. But you do need to control it there, and it's a very tight hockey game, and retaliatory penalties like that don't really help the team in any way. So that was really what it's about. But that's why I wanted to get him just back in and keep him rolling right to the end of the game. But I think that through my talk with him and the fact that he missed some shifts, that the team recognized that we're not going to tolerate that.
Let's go.